We got all packed up with provisions and everything for our week-long trip at St. George, Utah, because we are going to be doing some serious wheeling, some rock crawling over at Sand Hollow State Park. But first we had to drop some serious coin at the gas station. The drive to Utah was absolutely amazing, especially when you're going through Navajo country and just, I don't know, something about the mountains and the outcroppings there just kind of speaks to me. Who knows, maybe at some point my Pima ancestors had walked through this area. But we eventually made it into Utah, across that state line just after sunset. Bright and early the next morning, we made our way over to Sand Hollow to meet our other jeeping friends, air down our tires, and get ready for the first leg of the adventure in Sand Hollow, which was Wayne's World. Our friend that was leading the trip, something happened with the front lockers, so he was having a little bit of trouble there, but we had a bit of fun already.
I had to ride your mom.
Riley got himself turtled, but you know what? That's what winches were for. We did almost roll the vehicle, but Riley's got some ace skills, so we got ourselves out of that. One of our friends who is in a newer Rubicon, the belt broke, having to move basically everything out of the way before you can put a new belt in.
One eternity later.
We finished the day with mass amounts of food at Black Bear Diner. Yes! So this is day 2. We're going out to Sand Hollow once again. So we had Wayne's World yesterday, and we'll see where we're going today. So bright and early, just waiting for the rest of our crew. Intelligence. Mills Mile had some interesting challenges. I actually got to try my hand at doing a bit of wheeling that day. I got myself on 3 wheels a couple of times, but Riley is a great instructor and he got me up and over some very steep inclines and declines, at least for me, and I had a lot of fun. After a while, it was time for lunch break with the wonderful sounds of the side-by-sides and dirt bikes in the distance. So far, there were a few Jeeps that have already received some beauty marks during this trip. Oh man, we had so much fun in the sand dunes, and you know what? We were in 2-wheel drive and we were just blasting all over the place, and there were a couple of Jeeps that got a little stuck in their 4-wheel drive, and well, we had to help them out. After getting sand in every nook and cranny of ourselves and our Jeeps, we decided it was back to Black Bear Diner. To day 3, we're going back to Sand Hollow, and Riley is just putting on one of the 3 fenders that we have lost in our adventures. There's the other 2. Well, let's see what we can destroy today.
2 hours later.
Now we're just airing down our tires. I did forget to mention that we had a little bit of body damage yesterday trying to squeeze into a tight crevice. But let's see. I did a little ding there, but you know what? That's why steel is very important. I did a little bump too hard up a steep hill. Couldn't really see where I was going and I hit a boulder. So anywho, we are ready. Our fenders are back on and all the Jeeps are lined up, so we're ready to go. We went on another route in Sand Hollow called Resurrection. Well, we're a couple days early before Easter, but Resurrection we did. other Jeep were the only ones that were able to make it up that crazy steep incline. Except that it wasn't until later when we were doing something a little less crazy that the rear drive shaft failed us.
So this is day 4 and we are kind of hopped in the middle of the maze. We were behind schedule because we had to throw on the rear drive shaft. So had to get all that done. It was kind of a pain, a lot of a pain to get it put on. And then we had to go out into the dust storm and try to find everybody, but we found everybody. They are here. So
yeah, I know.
Just kind of popped
I can't
in.
seem to keep it closed.
Anyway,
it's
so
stubborn.
Here we go.
It's
the
not tight
adventure
enough, I
continues.
guess.
After spending time to get our Jeep up and running again, we hopped in line and hung out with everybody at the maze, and we had a bit of fun with that.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Until we broke one of our rear axles and it started to drizzle, but you know what? We got her done.
Alright, well, we popped a bead on the tire, so we just have to reset the tire. Broke a rear axle. It still drives because they're free floating, but yeah, we're gonna have to go pick up a rear axle maybe today or tomorrow, depending on what time we get back. But yeah, you know, part of the Jeeping fun.
Later.
A friend of ours had their hydraulic steering assist shear off. It was made by PSC, but it wasn't their fault. It was the guy who installed it. We got that zip tied and back on the road. We weren't sure if we could get Riley's tire, so we just grabbed an emergency tire from Dixie 4-Wheel Drive and we threw it in our temporary rental.
Well, hello! So, another awesome thing that has happened on, what's this, day 5 of our trip? Okay, so we had some vehicle issues, but something very awesome has happened. I got to hang out with my friend Heather. you guys have actually seen her, well, I mean her screaming, on like live chats and stuff. That is formerly Silver Star Priestess and now is
Venetian Rose.
Venetian Rose. So anyway, we got to hang out with her daughter, and we've had a fabulous time. And despite all the car issues, and actually her car too, had
Everything.
something- I don't know, electronics, cars. I thought we were out of retrograde, but whatever. So, anyway, so she's gonna be heading back, but we are in her state. She's just located in a different part of the state. So, all right, yay!
The Jeep was over at 23 Diesel and Off-Road with our friend Mike, who in less than a day was able to throw new rear axles on. Pretty new little tabs, little dealy bobs, putting little pieces back together on the heap. Gonna be putting some fenders back on. Oh, I mean, we lost three, put three back on, lost one. Had a little bit of damage here. That was a few days ago. That's some old stuff from when it rolled a few times. We did get to patch this tire, but you know, just don't trust it to be aired down out on the trail, which is why we're not on the trail today. But we did get 2 new axles, so yay. So we are ready. Just one more fender. Oh, and a new little valve stem caps. I mean, you know, probably got to take them off every time we air up and air down, but you know. Later, we got to return the temporary tire that we bought because our buddy Jason over at Discount Tire was able to get us a tire shipped over from Vegas, and we were up and rolling once again.
It is day 7 of our trip, and we are heading home. Most people headed home yesterday, and it's way too windy to continue a little jeeping today. I mean, as we're driving, there's like sand blowing all the way across the highway, but we're getting blasted. Anyway, here we go.
It was such a beautiful drive home. We wanted to go to the north rim of the Grand Canyon, but apparently they close it now for winter from December to May. So bummer. Well, maybe we'll be able to see it in the summertime. But yeah, and we were gonna go jeeping one more time, but it was super windy and the sands, well, it's like getting sandblasted out there, and we didn't really feel like doing that, so we just kind of headed home, and we took a little scenic detour to the Colorado River, which I haven't seen before, and it was absolutely beautiful. But then we were cruising back home through lovely Arizona, seeing many of the folks on the res and a lot of beautiful hogans. I've always wanted to build one on my property, but anyway, it was nice to see our big tall trees again as we got closer, seeing the San Francisco peaks, which it looks like there was some snow while we were away. And as we got closer to home, we gingerly made our way through Holbrook and Snowflake and Taylor, and eventually back home to Pine Top. We have another adventure lined up in July in Colorado, so I'll make sure to bring you guys along with me. Catch y'all next time. Stay wild, my friends.